Hello, this is TheRChelicopters Inc. Coming back to you with the part 3. I went over all the basics on this being throttle going forward, making the helicopter go up and down. This having to turn right, turn left, forward, backward. This is to sink it in when it's spinning. If it's spinning to the right, you turn it slowly to the left until it stops. The rest of it is basically in flight. I'm going to try to attempt to fly this helicopter while taping by myself, so it is hard. Remember, go through, you put the helicopter on first. For safety reasons, keeping this all the way down, even though it doesn't, because they have a built-in safety device, you don't have to worry about that. Turn it on, notice it's flashing. Go up and down quick, solid light. That means you're connected to your helicopter. So if you give it a little bit of gas, it's going to go. The only one that will go, if you move this one, it doesn't do anything until you're in flight, until these are spinning. Notice that propeller right there. I'm going to move this one forward, and you're going to see it spin. That lifts up that tail, and that is what it does. Is, oops, I got my finger in there. Causes this to go up, and then it causes the helicopter to go forward. And I'm going to pull back on it, and notice the tail comes down. That is your basically is going to pull the helicopter this way in reverse. So, and then if you go this way, see how it spins? That's holding it to the right. It's going to turn to the right. Go, you do this to the left, it's going to spin to the left, whether it's on the floor or in the air. At this point, we'll try to take flight using one hand. And flying. Basically, notice I'm spinning just a little bit. I'm going to turn that little knob right here, and that's going to straighten it, stop it from spinning. And you can do that either. See how I'm turning it one way, it's going faster. Just back off on it so that it stays in one spot. You'll probably have to adjust it again as you give it more throttle, and it is up in the air. So I am going to give it some throttle. It's hard to see because, I'm going up in the ceiling. Sorry, this is hard to fly with one hand. And noticed I started to get myself in trouble. I just backed off on the throttle, and there's no damage to the helicopter, and you stick it out in the middle of the thing. And then basically just do a little bit, starts and stops, get it to spin around a little bit. Start getting in trouble. If you start getting yourself into trouble or close to a wall, let off on it. That's basically what's going to happen, and it's going to fall down. It's not going to break anything as long as you keep the throttle all the way down. The other basic is you could see some videos. I'll show one of some flight of the helicopter in flight. Just to let you know, when you're done, the helicopter, the battery starts getting low. You'll know it will only be flying close to the ground. It has a tendency to spin more when the battery's low. At that point, you know your battery's drained. You shut your remote off, then turn your helicopter off. And at this point, I like to do is to prolong the battery life. Is you let the helicopter sit for 10 or 15 minutes for the motor and battery to cool. It prolongs the life of the motor and of the battery. On the smaller helicopters, you have the S032, which is a 12-inch. Another helicopter, which is made by SEMA. This one is by Double Horse, and this is a. Is why it's not focusing here. This is a 9098, and that's a littler size. You can see that's about quite a bit smaller. What these smaller helicopters can do is when you're done flying it, you actually, what I tell my boys to cool it down, I have them stick it in the refrigerator. Make sure it doesn't get dropping any liquid or anything. I just have them set it on the shelf in the refrigerator, cools it down quicker, and then you can go back to charging your helicopter and make sure it does a full cycle of charge, and make sure it cools down before you fly it again. Never leave the charger plugged into it longer than what it says in instructions. Always read your instructions to the fullest and read everything about it. If it says that it's going to take, like some of them say, do not leave your charger plugged in for more than an hour and a half at 90 minutes, and make sure that comes out. You don't leave it plugged in overnight. Never leave it plugged in overnight. It's going to continue to charge. It'll heat the battery up and destroy the battery. So make sure you unplug that in your present when you're charging. If you have to charge it and set a timer so a bell goes off so you know that to unplug it, usually is what there is on helicopters. There will be lights. Here's actually no, that isn't even the charger for. Well, this is similar charger to the helicopter, and you'll see a light here. Some of them will, when you first plug it in, they'll be red and they'll turn green, or when it's fully charged, or it'll go off when it's fully charged, or when you first plug it in, it goes off and then it turns red. So you have to read your instructions so you know what your helicopter will do when it's fully charged. I have at least 12 to 15 different helicopters at a time that we sell at retail and a little bit online. So I've tested them all, and this one is probably one of the easiest, the S032. All the smaller ones, usually with gyro, built-in gyro, are real easy to fly. This is part 3, and hope this was a help on you getting started on flying your helicopters. We will have other videos out that'll show some flying, and I'll try to get it better where someone could tape me when I'm doing this so that it's a little easier for people to see. Thank you again. This is TheRChelicopters Incorporated, and we have other videos on YouTube. Thank you.